My name is Kirsten McCord, and I am a code enforcement officer for the City of Lilburn.
My name is Don Dillard. I work for the City of Lilburn Code Enforcement Department.
I'm Rachel Charles. I work in code enforcement in the City of Lilburn.
The life of a code enforcement officer is like, wow. It allows you to be out in the community and making contact. We love for people to see our code enforcement vehicles out in the city because that lets them know that we're on the job.
We like to get on the road pretty early. We're looking for violations. We're going to addresses that we've received overnight or sometimes over the weekend. We see if we can observe the violation, and then we try and make contact with the property owner.
Our team, it's code enforcement, but in reality, it's also involves community outreach because you're making relationships with all of these people.
It's not always us going there just to tell them, hey, you did something wrong. It's also, hey, here's some things that the city provides to you that maybe you weren't aware of.
We try to make contact with the issuing property or the complainant within just a couple days. If you have a violation, you typically will receive a notice of violation. And that's just a warning, and it will list the items that you're in violation for and give a compliance date or what you need to do to bring the property or the business into compliance. If it gets to the point where that has not been remediated and taken care of, then it may get to the point where it is a citation. You're forced to appear in court for that. You will obviously still need to bring the property or the business into compliance during that time. However, it's mostly due to the fact that you never did meet the deadlines and the timelines, or if the violation is that egregious or something like that, that it just requires immediate citation.
Some of the most common violations that we see every day are yard parking, outdoor storage, junk vehicles, fences, and disrepair. Those are our most common, but we also do have other ones like operating without a business license or land disturbance. If they don't have a business license, they cannot operate. Code enforcement will give them a certain deadline, and if they do not meet that deadline, unfortunately, a stop work order will be issued to the business, and therefore no work can proceed until the proper permits and documentation and everything is obtained. I keep business services card with me at all times, so if anybody in Lilburn has more in-depth questions, I'll just go ahead and give them this, direct them to them, and then they can call with questions. We also have on our website, we have the planning department's information, so if they have questions about what permits do I need to obtain for said land disturbance and whatnot, they can also go and utilize those resources.
The city website offers great information about code enforcement, how to submit requests for code enforcement issues and violations. If you go on the City of Lilburn website, you can either type in request tracker and it'll take you straight to it. You can lodge your complaint on there, or you can type in code enforcement and the same information comes up. But it's not just code enforcement. In request tracker, you can request things for public works or out-of-town house checks by the police officers, different things like that.
One of the things that we're trying to be proactive about is pushing for having more parking availability in Lilburn, creating driveways so they have space and it clears up our streets, and then it also makes the property look more presentable as well. I think that that's probably the most satisfying thing that I can do because you can see the before and after, and you can see that they're now alleviated with having space for their family.
We really want the citizens of Lilburn to understand that all that code enforcement is here for is to help enforce the ordinances that have always been in place for the city, making sure that it stays nice and clean and beautiful and having great communities that people will want to move into.
I'm Officer Charles.
I'm Officer McCord.
And I'm Officer Dillard, and we are Lilburn Code Enforcement.